Well, congrats to Akron. They certainly outplayed us in the second half. I've got to do a better job of figuring out how to solve some very specific problems that we're having that seem to pop up on almost a weekly basis. And part of that is slow starts on offense. We don't seem to be able to come out of the gate and put points on the board in the first quarter. Today we just struggled even to get first downs in the first quarter. We've had some other games where we've moved it and maybe haven't finished drives, but we really struggled there today. We're continuing to struggle in some short yardage situations. We had to settle for a field goal today inside the 5. We had another critical 4th and 1 where we didn't get it, where we had a chance to hang in there. So that keeps popping up. And then obviously the turnovers today really hurt us. We had 2 2-minute drives where we still had plenty of time, and we've been in those situations before where we had opportunities to go down the field and tie the game and didn't get that done. We're not explosive enough on offense to turn the ball over and expect to win. Defensively, the head scratcher for me is how we can play so well for the first 30 minutes of the game. With the same guys and the same basic calls, because we didn't do anything overly complicated today. We held that team to 60 yards of offense in the first half, and that's a very talented, explosive offense. And then to come out and to give up 2 drives for touchdowns to start the third quarter. Explosive plays on both of those drives. One was a 4th down where they got into a bunch set and somebody got tripped up, but a real short pass turned into a big completion. And then the second drive was just man-to-man coverage, and ball got behind us somehow. So disappointed that's how we started the third quarter. Coming out of the half with a lead, and expect better out of our defense. I thought special teams today was nothing more than a wash at best, which we were hoping to be able to create a little bit more. Now they were sky kicking a bunch to us and things like that, so that negated some opportunities. But still, I thought we had at least one punt that we could have tried to return that we fair caught, and So, again, that didn't end up being an advantage for us. It was probably a wash at the end of the day. So, these concerns keep popping up, and we've been able to overcome them with some 2-minute magic here in some of these games, but we've got to figure out a way to get these things rectified here as we head into this next game.
Coach, it seemed like that first drive in the third quarter by Akron, you got the momentum after the late score in the second, and things are going good, and it almost felt like the air came out of the balloon all of a sudden.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, because at some point they're going to score. That's a highly talented offense, and I hope we're mentally tougher than that. We should be. We should be. We've shown to be that before. So I'd like to believe that wasn't the case. These are going to be back and forth kind of games, and you got to play 60 minutes. But we didn't respond very well because we gave up another long drive on the next one. It was, I don't know the exact yardage, but 70, 80 yards. So and another explosive play. So the turnovers came in bunches for us. They came in bunches for them, and we contained them almost completely in the first half, and then we gave up a handful of explosive plays in the second that were very costly.
What went into the fake field goal early in the game?
Yeah, it was a 3-2 game right there, so a field goal is only going to put you up 2. It was a little bit far to go for it on offense, so I thought it was a good time to get that called. So that's 1,000% on me, right? Those are great when they work, and you know, in hindsight, you'd probably like to kick it there, but you know, we were struggling to get to the end zone at that point, so I didn't think 3 points was going to get it done. So I thought that was a good time to try it.
We'll went to Nick McMillan. He had most of his yards. He was a lot of deep routes. Did you think any of them could have went for touchdowns? And did y'all know Nick couldn't have a game like that attacking the deep third of this?
Oh, sure. You know Nick's capable. Calls play out differently based on the coverages. So you may have the same route called a week ago, and it might end up going to Vic or Josiah or somebody else or one of the tight ends. And in this case today, we got some one-on-one coverage on the outside, and we were able to connect on some deep throws to Nick, which was good to see.
You've obviously had quite a run of close games, which probably isn't good for your blood pressure or anybody else's.
Yeah.
How does that affect the team psychologically? Is it a situation where after you've won a couple, you got some confidence you can do it when it matters, or is it rolling the dice a little bit?
I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like I'm talking ad nauseum about being in close games and the likelihood of being in close games. Just coming to peace with who we are as a team this year and the likelihood of that happening. I don't know if everybody always believes me when I say it, but I believe it. And it's been the case almost every single week of the season. I think we had the one FCS win was a lopsided win, but every other game has been a relatively close game, good or bad. So you would hope that we figure it out at some point. I do think the good news is that our guys don't panic and believe that they can win, but at some point that clock's going to run out, and so it doesn't just matter that you believe you can win in the fourth quarter if it's a close game. It's what you do from start to finish, and the way we started offensively just wasn't good enough. Our inability to sustain some drives and walk away with touchdowns instead of field goals wasn't good enough. And then how we, were Jekyll and Hyde-ish on defense is head scratching to me.
Why was Red so successful? And then can you speak to him finally getting that 16th fumble? He had a sack and a half, I think, in the first quarter. They were trying to block him with the running back, and it wasn't working much. Anything change of how they were trying to block him in the second half?
Well, first of all, we were able to get him in a bunch of third and longs in the first half, and when you can get people in the third and long, that gives you a lot of options in terms of the pressures that you can call, and so we were able to get a lot of heat on the quarterback in the first half. And I think that's what accounted for some of those results and keeping them off schedule. Obviously, they stayed on schedule more in the second half because they only had 60 yards in the first and ended up with 3-something. So, the vast majority of what they got was in the second half. But we still did a really nice job on third down. I mean, you hold somebody to 2 of 14 on third down, that's a pretty good day for your defense. But again, the explosive plays were what got us, and so we'll have to take a hard look at that and see if we can figure it out.
Forcing fumbles, a skill on its own. Obviously, he's had as many as anybody in the country overall, whatever it is, 16 in his career, which is phenomenal. Is that something he just picks up, or?
He's definitely got a knack for it, but the key to getting the ball out is multiple guys to the party, and we really talked a lot about that after last week. That 4th and 1 that UMass fell forward last week, and there were a couple other plays in that game that stood out where we just weren't finishing defensively, and I thought we did a better job of that, finishing off some of those runs, getting multiple guys there today. And when you do that, you've got an opportunity with that second, third, fourth guy to get the ball out. But there's no doubt that Red's an explosive player and definitely has some natural ability to get that done.
Can you speak to Capo's position on the punt prevent team and why he's always seems to be down there making a play, especially on the safety unit?
Yeah, so he's a regular on that punt pressure unit, and we were edging that with him. It was a really good reaction to him to see that, the snap and the timing was off, and to continue his rush. And sometimes, you're out there in space, and it's hard to get anybody on the ground. So I think there's a correlation to open field tackling and some of those things you do defensively to when you get put in that moment, actually being able to finish that play. So when you look at that punt pressure unit, today, for example, all but one of those guys was a defensive player, and some of those special team skills that we teach also carry over to defense and vice versa. So that was certainly a big play and a play that gave us some momentum there. But then on the kickoff after the safety, where you should be getting some good field position, we had a redshirt freshman that we're trying to get involved in the games and gets a big holding penalty, and now we don't get very good field position there. So I was a little disappointed with that penalty and a couple others in the first half. I thought we played a little bit cleaner in the second half, but all of those things add up in these close games.
So you know how close this conference is. That's your first conference loss. 2 road games coming up. At least you got a to-do list for what to clean up from the
Yeah, there's obviously a big sense of urgency here, and I just want to see us get to a point where we're playing our best, whatever that is. And talked earlier about some of the issues that we're having, and just want to see us figure out a way to try to get those things solved, and ultimately that's my responsibility. But our guys are, it's a good bunch of guys, and they'll take their share of the ownership of this, and we'll try to come in here tomorrow and try to get some of those things at least identified and sorted out, and then figure out if we can find the best way to fix them heading into the Bowling Green game.
Anything your offense didn't expect from their defense, specifically on third down, because they neither team's offense did very well on third.
Yeah, no, I would say that a lot of the stuff we saw, some of the up looks and whatnot, they've done in previous games, and I will say that running the ball and getting it into more third and shorts and third and mediums eliminates a lot of that stuff. And when you're into third and long, or you're playing from behind, where everything is essentially like a third and medium to third and long for the defense, you're going to see a lot more exotic stuff. And when you see a lot more exotic stuff, that's going to be a bigger challenge for your offensive line and your running backs in pass protection. Just like we said, conversely, we got them in a bunch of third and longs in the first half, and we were able to do a bunch of exotic stuff to get home. So, being able to run the ball, being able to stay ahead and not be in situations where you absolutely have to throw, and staying out of third and longs, that all ties together when it comes to your pass protection.
Coach.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, guys.
Red, I know you've been waiting for the 16th fumble, man. Just how cool is it to get to this point, and what was working for you in the first half? I think all 1.5 of your sacks came in the first half. Why was the first half so successful?
We were able to all execute and do our job. It's really all it was. When we let go of that in the second half, had a couple plays that we let loose, and it cost us in the end. So, yeah, it was definitely great to be able to have that success in the first half, but we had to play 60 minutes of full football.
No, one of your sacks early in the first half, you tried to rip the ball out, couldn't get it, but when you was able to get the running back, where did you think that would be the fumble?
Shoot, if you go back and watch every game, I probably got at least 20 fumble attempts a game. I'm not the best at it, but I'm very intentful on it, and that's the main thing. So it's coming at it like I think every single one of them is going to be the fumble. So yeah, that's really it. And truth be told, not really looking forward to the 16th one. I'm looking forward to the 17th one. The goal is never to be tied. So yeah, looking forward to the next one. The main goal is trying to help our team win, though.
Nick, did you know you can beat them, their deep third or their defensive backfield like this today?
I mean, yeah, I got the full utmost confidence in myself. You know, no matter who we playing, I feel like I can win and get open. TQ threw some great balls today, and we just executed well.
What did you see on any of those? And do you wish you could have had any of those back? You think you could have had a touchdown on any of those?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Do you think you could have had a touchdown on any of those throws to Nick? And did you think he can have a game like this against Akron?
Of course. I've been saying this since the beginning. I got full faith in all our receivers, and my job is to get them the ball in space, and when they get it, they're capable of scoring anytime.
Anything on at the end of the game, any of those throws you think you could have got back, or was it just quarterback pressures that forced those interceptions?
I mean, I got to do better. I got to execute better. I got to watch the tape and get better and see what I did wrong and what could I've done instead of throwing interceptions.
Do you feel like that drive by Akron to start the third period that retied the game, it just felt like an awfully big swing in momentum right there after you'd taken the lead in the first half? Did you sense that, they're not going to roll over now or anything like that? You probably felt anyways.
No, I mean, we go into every week expecting to play, 60 minutes, and in this conference, anybody can beat anybody. So we never, sleep on the opponent, and we went in with the mindset that we're gonna have to play 60 minutes regardless. And I mean, they're gonna make plays, we're gonna make plays. It's gonna be, a boxing match, and we just got to keep going back and forth.
Nick, what's this run of close games done? This is 5 or whatever games it's been that's gone down to the last possession, and you're selling tickets, but what's it like to go through this?
Definitely stressful. I mean, having close games is kind of part of the game, but I mean, end of the day, it's gonna make us all stronger, though. Having these close games now is just building us and getting us ready for what's to come in the future.
Red, what can you say about Akron's offense in the second half? They got things going, and the quarterback had a long run there. How different did they attack you guys?
They were able to capitalize off some mistakes that we made execution-wise. Not taking anything away from them, but I try to look at it from our perspective and in the sense of as a defense, we got to do our job better, more consistently. First half was a pretty good half. Could have been better. Second half, terrible. So they were able to capitalize on our mistakes, and that's how we were able to put up 21 points in the second half. But yeah, they definitely have a plethora of talent and some really young, talented guys as well throughout their offense. So not taking anything away from them, but yeah, we have to be better.
Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate it.